we were having, historic winds during that incident. And so if you back up, that was our third fire in about like a month and a half. So the first major one that we had was the Broad fire, which again was these massive winds. We knew there was going to be a fire somewhere, right? Broad happened, and then like an hour or 30 minutes later, the mountain fire, which is in Ventura's area, happened. And that was actually a very large fire. So we knew there was going to be a fire. Sometimes it's just where and when, right? And so we had the Broad fire starting out. And then fast forward to December, then the Franklin fire broke out, right? So we were we had Cal Fire here. We were down at Zuma Beach. We're all under unified command. So we had the the Franklin fire. And then there was like a week, 2 weeks of rest. And then we get the Palisades fire.
Wildfire struck the small California town of Malibu. The Palisades fire decimated miles of forest and businesses in the northern part of the town. Even months after, citizens clawing back to rebuild. Sheriff's Captain Jennifer Seetoo has helped lead the charge.
What we did as law enforcement is we did humanitarian runs and help those who actually stayed, make sure they had food, make sure they had water, right? Because there was no drinking tap water. Some of the water was actually shut off. They didn't have electricity, so allowing them to go and charge their electric vehicle so they can charge their cell phone, so they at least have some type of connectivity, right? So this is some of the work that we did. So I always say there's 4 things that I'm in charge of. And it was the Palisades fire. The Woolsey fire was a historic fire, right? And I never thought I would see anything bigger than the Woolsey fire. And I at that time, I lived in the pathway of the Woolsey fire, so we were evacuated as well. So from not just a work standpoint, but a personal standpoint, I understand what it feels like during a fire and to be evacuated and for seeing your neighbors' homes burn down. And then the Palisades fire hit. And I'll say, I have never seen anything like this. And the winds were just, it was incredible, these winds, and how fast-paced this fire was, because the embers would just pick up and fly, and if it gets into a vent, that whole house is gone, right? So that's the Palisades fire.
As community member and officer, she's focused on what she calls community-based policing to lead her town back from this tragedy.
Sometimes it's challenging to live and work in your community, because every time I go pick up my kids at the school, it becomes like a town hall meeting. But I love that the community will ask questions, and law enforcement is part of the community family. And you don't see that in every city, where law enforcement in the community are actually community. Our deputies here have dealt with 4 fires, 3 or 4 really significant fires, right? In each fire I'm looking at, like, I watch some of the body-worn cameras, I see deputies bringing out elderly that couldn't get up the stairs, can't walk up the stairs, like literally in bed sheets, and bringing them out to their patrol cars so they're in a safe location. I mean, I don't hear it. Like, deputies don't tell me any of this, I'm having to watch their body-worn cameras. I'm like, you guys are so amazing. Like, people really need to hear about how truly amazing you guys are. And just seeing their empathy and dedication to the community just makes me the happiest. It makes me so proud to wear the badge that I wear. I just couldn't ask for a better set of deputies here. It's a challenging position to be in, but I feel like there's so much trust because I am a community member. I don't live in Malibu, but I I live near Malibu, and having been through the Woolsey fire and experienced that, there's this trust that is needed.
Seetoo has helped drive change from small businesses to leadership positions. She said she has faith her town will recover to what it once was. From Media Milwaukee, I'm Akira Quinn.